Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike. It's Wednesday. It's the 26th of April. This is our midweek update, and it's been another very not so fun day here in the markets as we opened up, you know, mostly flat, down a little bit on the SPY, up on the Qs. We pushed down, we came up, we put a high of the day in, and then we've rolled back over. And the market here is struggling to find its footing. In fact, I would say it's, slowly basically drifting down after multiple days of going sideways in a very tight range. We broke down yesterday on the FRC news. More FRC headlines today are not helping. And we're a clean break of the 8 and the 21 day. And here we are looking at the 50 day coming up here, trading right around the 402.50 area. Volume today with about 20 minutes to go is a little bit higher than it's been, not as high as yesterday's. But the market's telling a tale here, and that the market's very unhappy. And in fact, if you look at what's going on the ES, and we've talked about this here in the room this couple days, is that it's making a series of lower lows on the 5. And you can see these constant little rollovers, pops up, puts a new low in, no low, new low, new low, new low, took a while, new low, new low, new low, new low, new low. You get the concept here is that we have a market that is making a series of lower lows on the going forward here, and we're struggling to find our footing. Now, the good news is the oscillator is getting to a nice state, negative 173 on the NASDAQ, negative 144 on the New York Stock Exchange. We don't start worrying about if we get under 200, but we're starting to head in that direction. While this is going on, the VIX here, the VIX remains not doing much. It's back up again above 18, but it's not really flying. It's not a lot going on here. And this is a lot to do about what's going on at FRC. And if you're not paying attention to what's going on with FRC, is they're toast, right? This company is as a bank is unfortunately gone. The price action is just getting destroyed. And the government's saying they don't want to rescue it. And FRC can't find a buyer for itself because nobody wants to take it on. They're valued down to less than $1 billion. They are now under $100 billion in assets managed, including the $35 billion given it to it by the big banks. And the longer this goes on, the more the market's going to worry, because the market hates one thing more than anything else. It's uncertainty. And at this point, the government has already stepped in. What are they going to do now? Pick and choose where they do it? Step in, put this thing out of its misery, and let's move on and find some new path forward on all this. And let's hope this is the end of it. I mean, this is the one that's been hurting the most after the other two. Everybody kind of knew this one was in trouble. Okay, so we'll see where we go. The regional banks, again, overall remain weak. The banks remain weak as well. So let's talk about what we had today. Microsoft, if you guys weren't paying attention yesterday, had an absolute blowout quarter. You could not ask for a better quarter from Microsoft. A great report, great guidance. Ran all the way up to 299, actually hit 302 or 303 after hours last night. And today it got a wide range candle, but holding in fine. And, we now have a gap to trade against at 292.60 area. That down and has a little gap up above here. So we'll keep that in mind. Microsoft holding in, nice big volume today. I like that move. If the market doesn't fall apart, I like that to keep going. Google's earnings were not much more mixed, to be honest with you. That 70 billion buyback is covering up a lot of mistakes. CMG also had a blowout quarter. You can see a $200 plus move here to new all-time highs. That was massive there as well. We have Meta tonight. Who do we have tonight, guys? Let's just go over this real quick. We got Meta, Roku, Now, TDOC, eBay, PXD. Tomorrow we have Lilly, Valero, Cat, AbbVie, Merck, Crocs, and BMY. You have a ton of names coming in. So we'll see how we handle this. Boeing's earnings on paper look good. It had a big pop. They were saying all the right things on the call until they weren't, until they said we don't see supply chain issues leaving until late 2025. Well, until 2025, that was the kiss of death, because how are you going to hit your lofty delivery numbers and expectations if you're still having supply chain issues? So Boeing came back down here. In addition to earnings tomorrow, we have data coming at us. We have GDP tomorrow morning, and then on Friday we got PCE, and employment cost index, and consumer sentiment. PCE being the big one that the Fed looks at with the Fed meeting on next Wednesday. So we have a lot of moving parts to this market, but most importantly, we have a market here that is just very unhappy and not healthy. It's not in a rush to go down. It's kind of a slow drift down here, but the 50-day looks like it's in, a target at this point. And the thing you have to do is just be careful and decide what you want to trade or don't want to trade and stay out of the way. If you're not comfortable, stay out of the way. If you are, shorting this market has been good. Tesla was a good short today. A lot of people in the room were shorting Tesla. Even I shorted Tesla, which I never do. And we'll see where we go from here tomorrow. So I hope you're all doing well. We'll catch you guys live in the room tomorrow morning and staying late for earnings tonight.